Thanks for joining us today here on Cedar Creek Homestead, our Thursday morning porch time. I'm not out on the porch today. I'm sitting at the back end of the shop. We've had a bunch of rain and my porch, rain had blown in there and stuff, and I was afraid of getting my camera dripped on or something, but the rain's kind of ceased for right now. But as you can tell, we got a pretty view out here. The grass is turning green. The pecan trees are starting to get their leaves, and well, this has been a welcome sight. I'm so glad to see it. Things starting to green up and spring coming on. My porch times are to kind of update you on the goings on of our farm and maybe to kind of rant and rave a little bit about different things. But this week we've been busy out in the garden. We've got our green beans planted. I have a little video. I grow pole beans for green beans, the Blue Lake variety, and I buy them down at our local co-op store. I have planted them for a number of years. There was a year or two I planted contender beans and bush contender. I've never grown the contender pole beans, but anyway, I've stayed with the Blue Lake. I really like them and they do well. And I started 2 or 3 years ago planting the pole variety because I can plant them on cattle panels and they'll grow up those cattle panels. So that saves my back. And bending over and picking, I've actually bought me a little four-wheeled cart seat thing. It looks like a tractor seat that's on 4 wheels, and you can slide that down through and pick your beans, and that's kind of interesting and neat to use, but it's still not as easy as standing upright. I don't have to bend over a bunch. Seems like my beans will start making about halfway up the cattle panels on over, so my bending over is very minimal. But we love home canned green beans, so maybe you'll tune in this week and watch the video. We also planted our cucumbers. I put cattle panels up. I did not make a video of planting and putting that up, but I wanted to. I made a video of planting squash this week, and just the squash seeds. As warm as the ground temperatures are getting now and the night temperatures aren't dropping very much, we're still dropping into the 40s, but not down to freezing or anything like we was. Just a few days ago we had a frost, so a late frost. I can't remember in a number of years that we've had a frost as late, anything after Good Friday. And I was putting everything in the ground by Good Friday, but it's been so cool and kind of nasty and stuff that I've not really been in the mood for it. But I'm working on it now, and I planted some time back. I have a video where I planted onions, and those are doing very good, and cabbages, and that stuff's going well. In fact, this week I plan to plant my peppers and tomatoes. I think we're pretty much out of the freeze and frost zone, but we kind of had a little bit late start. But this next week, our temperatures during the day is supposed to be up in the 70s and lows in the 50s, where everything's really going to start ramping up. We've had several inches of rain lately. We had almost 2 inches over the weekend, and today we've had about a ½ inch of rain. So things are going really well. It's starting to clear off here now. I think we'll have a wonderful rest of the day. But I'm not complaining about the rain, because we went through a very dry winter here, and unusually dry. The creek dried up, our ponds were drying up. I watered some of the cows up here, and had to use rural water to water them. But we got a lot going on here at the homestead. This is a busy time. We had a chicken hen that hatched. If you've watched those videos, she hatched out just, I think she's got 5 babies. She had a dozen eggs under her, and she left the nest with those babies, and I took the eggs and brought them in here. One was still partly hatched out. Well, it died in the shell. She'd been off too long. But I had another egg that hatched. The other eggs all had babies in it, and before I caught her, I guess they had gotten too cold and they died in the shell. I also had a duck that had been setting that I just found a few days ago, and I wasn't expecting her to hatch soon, but she hatched baby chick eggs instead of duck eggs, and she has 4 little baby chicks, and she's doing excellent with them little baby chicks. So that's kind of fun to watch. I've got some video about her, and I have one called Houston, We Have a Problem, because I wasn't expecting little chicks, but I kept hearing little chicks chirping the Sunday before I found them, I'd heard them chirping out at the chicken yard, and I was like, something's hatched off babies. Well, then I said, when I get home, I'll check. Well, look, couldn't find anything. The next day, I found this duck setting, but no signs of babies, no noises or anything. Then I went out there one day, and I was going to feed this duck, locked her up in what I call the duck house. It ain't really just for ducks, but I locked her in there so the other ducks couldn't get in her and bug her, or something get in and get her eggs. And while I was doing that, I heard chirping, and it was baby chicks. So she hatched off baby chicks. That's kind of unusual. I have put duck eggs under chicken hens before, but anyway, that's kind of a little different to have a duck hatch off chickens, and they seem to be doing very well with her. I'm keeping her locked up with them. I'm going to see how they kind of go. I have hatched pheasant eggs before under a banny hen, and that's kind of interesting, and guineas under bannies, but this is the first time that I can recall I've ever hatched chicken eggs underneath a duck, especially a Muscovy duck. I also made a video and put out about guineas. If you don't have guineas or are interested in guineas, check them out. They are noisy, so if you live in somewhere where you have to watch about the sound, that will annoy your neighbors. My son hates the guineas here. He's 19 and he never has cared much for the guineas. One time I come home and from work, and he said, Daddy, look what I found. And he come carrying a little baby guinea, and he had a big scratch up here on his face. He's just a little fellow, and probably 7-8 year old. And so it was a baby guinea. Well, when he caught the guinea, the mama guinea attacked him and flew up, and she scratched his face. So me and him went out there, and we caught the other baby guineas, and we raised them in a brooder, because they're so bad to just run them to death. And you'll find I put more of that on the guinea video if you watch that. But anyway, there's a lot going on around here on our homestead. We've had several baby calves born here just lately. Yesterday we had a little bull calf born. A day or so before, we've had 2 or 3 others born here, 4, 5, I don't know, where things are just coming to life here at the homestead. We got a rabbit that's got 4 babies, and they are about half grown now. We're just probably in 3 or 4 weeks we'll be able to have some fried rabbit. If you've never had fried rabbit, that's a pretty good treat. My wife also uses the bigger rabbits. Sometimes I don't get to them soon enough, and she'll use them for stuff like making dressings or different kinds of recipes, and it's very tasty. She cans the rabbit in jars, and it makes it so tender, and then she'll use it in recipes. Very good eating. I'm going to try something here at our homestead. We're almost to 50 subscribers, and I want to say thank you for subscribing. We certainly appreciate that. We aren't doing it for the money. Now, if you do it for the money, there's nothing wrong with that. And if you are doing it for the money, I want to make sure and subscribe to your channel and try to help you out. Some want to get to 1,000 subscribers to make money. That's not my main objective here. I just want to be part of the homesteading community. Later on, if we get big time, like some of you've got 30, 40,000 subscribers, 100,000, million, I think Wrangler Star has almost 1 million subscribers, I think, something like that, if I looked and read that right. So, I mean, whoever you are, I'm more power to you. And if you can make a living making YouTube videos, well, that's a great deal. Get after it. I use Facebook in my business that I own to advertise a little bit, and I even pay a little bit on Facebook to advertise. Not very much, but we do. But it has really helped my business a lot, and it kind of helps to make you an authority in what you're in. And I've actually for my business started a YouTube channel too, and I haven't got but just 2 or 3 videos on it. I haven't really worked on it much. I work on the homesteading one, but Facebook for my business has done great. So, but those that's trying to make a living off of YouTube, well, I pray for you and hope you just do well. But that's not me and my wife's goal here, is not to make money off of it. But if we were ever to get several thousand subscribers and the opportunity come to make a little bit, a friend of mine that's in the same type of business I am has his own business, and he quit and went to work for a big company, and he has still got his YouTube channel going. And the other day he said he's still getting $300 and some a month. Now he's got a lot of videos and he had really worked at it, but he said, I'm still making $300 and something a month and I haven't done anything to my channel. So I was like, hey, 300 and something, what kind of homesteader couldn't enjoy that? I wanted to talk about working, by the way, and homesteading. I have to work here because I'm not self-sufficient enough financially that I can quit working. I love the work that I do. I have a good business. I make good money, what I consider good money. I also raise cattle. That's another, you might say, a separate little business. I haven't made any money off of them because I take everything I have and put back in them. And I'm using that as kind of like a retirement income. And I plan on one of these days, my son's just 19, but I plan to turn my business over to him one of these days. And then the cattle ranch, I hope to retire and have that as supplemental income to my retirement income or Social Security or whatever else I have. Or maybe I'm making income then off of YouTube. Who knows? But I love being part of this community of YouTubers, and that's why I get into it. But I would like to one of these days retire and just live off my homestead. And my homestead has helped me and my wife, I believe, has helped our family financially because we don't spend as much at the grocery store on produce and things like that as we used to did because we raise it right here. We raise our own beef. We raise not all of our own chicken. We have to buy chicken. But we wouldn't have to. I could raise all the chicken I want to. It's just in the summertime, and I have ordered in broiler chicks and raised them, but we'll usually have some hen sets, so we'll get all the chicken we want. And what I usually do is just let the roosters get big, and if we want fresh rooster like to make dumplings or dressing or something, I can go out and kill a rooster and skin it. If you haven't ever done that, you can skin a chicken in just a little bit and boil it or whatever my wife does. I'm acting like I'm a cook. I ain't much on cooking, but I can have one pretty well ready and you don't have the skin on it. But if it's fried, I won't skin on my fried chicken legs or fried wings. I love fried chicken. I don't have it very often, but if I do, I like it with the skin. So I'm going to pluck a chicken like that, and usually no more than what we have fried like that. My wife will just buy some at the store. But what we raise is way better. If you've not ever raised your own, I think there is a tremendous difference in the taste and quality. Those chicken legs at the store get humongously huge. And I went down and bought fried chicken legs at a little local place we have down here that fixes very good fried chicken. I said, I want 3 legs and a roll. And that's something I'll go do maybe once a month or something for lunch. And so I went down there and he said, sir, you may not want 3 legs. And I said, well, I always eat 3 legs and they've never been very big. He said, these legs are as big as turkey legs. And they were huge. And I went ahead and got 3 of them, but I couldn't eat them. Not that I couldn't hold them, but they just weren't very good. The crispies on the outside was good. I don't want big old humongous, that big around chicken legs. I want the little tiny ones. So if I'm going to raise chicken at home, I'd rather have my own fresh chicken that's been raised from my own stock here. When I was a kid, my dad would order like 100 roosters to eat, and they weren't broiler chicks. They were like roosters from these poultry farms that sell the Rhode Island Reds and the Wyandottes and all that. Well, they'd have a barbecue special, something they would call it, and you would order those, and they'd have the little drumsticks. And it takes longer to grow those, but I think they're better than these old broiler chickens. Now, if you like the broiler type, more power to you. And some of you that are doing this is raising chickens, the broiler type, to sell, and you're probably more financially good in that because the people like the boneless, skinless breast. We do eat some of that, and my wife likes to prepare that, but that's not my favorite part of the chicken. I'd rather have the legs or the wings. And if you're going to boil them up to make something, I think the thighs and things like that are a whole lot better. But anyway, they get their premium dollar for boneless, skinless chicken breast. And so I can't fault them for that. That's what you got to make money with. And if you're homesteading and you're doing free-range chickens or the chicken tractors to sell fresh poultry, you got to do, it's just a dollar and cents thing. It makes sense to me. But anyway, but we can't make it here without having outside financing. We've gotten out of debt pretty much. We have very little bit of debt at all, and that's just by choice. So our monthly income is very, very minimum, but we still need a little income to survive because we still have electricity. I would like to be set up like some of you that don't have electricity. That looks it's really interesting, and I'm planning on getting into solar energy here and working on that. We're wanting to make an addition onto the back of our house, a canning kitchen. And when I do that, I want to have it powered primarily by solar, where if you lost electricity, your canning kitchen area would be solar, and have a lot of windows in it. And I also want to put a wood stove in it, just kind of an idea I've got going. When I'll get that done, I don't know, but we're in the planning stage right now. So if you're a homesteader, you realize you take one thing off of your list and you've got a dozen more to go. And so I want to call this Seldom Rest Homestead. But anyway, we're at about 50 subscribers. I'm going to give a prize for when we hit 100 subscribers. Someone said that to be part of their prize, you had to be 2,000 or more subscribers to your channel. Well, I don't care if you have no subscribers. You're welcome to join in my little prize I'm going to do. And when we hit 100 subscribers, I'm going to give out 2 gift cards for $25 a piece to Subway. And Subway is pretty healthy eating. I like to eat at Subway because they have the veggies that go on your sandwich, like spinach. I like to put spinach on mine, the onions, and bell pepper, and tomatoes. And their tomatoes aren't nothing like what you grow at home, but they're edible. And so that's what I like. I like to get a Subway club on wheat bread and get that. I don't eat that very often. I only eat 6-inch sandwich too. But sometimes we have had, go ahead and get the foot long because they'll have them on sale, and we'll bring the other half and eat it the next day. Works out pretty good. But anyway, 2 $25 cards when I hit 100 subscribers. Now, some of you are private subscribers. So to enter the drawing, what you'll need to do is go over and send me an email. If you're a private subscriber, I have no way of knowing. So on my channel, there is a link that has my email on it for Cedar Creek Homestead. So if you'll hit that and send me a deal over saying, I've subscribed to your channel, and then I would know that you're a private subscriber. If not, you won't get entered in the drawing because I don't know how else I can do it, because some of my subscribers, we know who you are. And even though we know who you are, if you want to, send over a deal that you're one of my subscribers so we don't miss you. But you only get one opportunity. So if we have 100 subscribers, we'll put 100 channel names in a drawing. When we get yours, then we will let you know on your channel. Send you a message, whatever we have to do, we'll get with you. We'll let you know. Once we hit 100 subscribers, we'll draw, and then we'll send out 2. There'll be 2 different channels. We'll have an opportunity to win. I don't care if you have 1 million subscribers or if you have 0 subscribers, if you would like to be a part. But you need to subscribe to my channel and let me know that you've subscribed. So if you subscribe on one of my videos, you could even make a comment to this video if you want to. If you don't want to get into the email, maybe you don't have email, fine. Just comment down there and say, hey, I'm a private subscriber, if you want to do that. Now, you ain't going to be so private after that. So some people don't want people knowing their goings on, and I don't blame you. I'm a very private person out here. I can't help it, but I'm by my business and what I do, and being part of a church, and we sing at a lot of funerals, and I preach a lot of funerals and stuff. We're kind of getting known. I don't mean that I'm well known like a celebrity, but people just kind of know you. But I do kind of like being a private individual as much as I can. So I understand you like your privacy, and if you don't, maybe you don't even like Subway. But that's my plan. I'm planning on doing 2 $25 cards, 2 cards anyway, to Subway And that would mean a husband and wife could go out to eat at least once and maybe twice. On that, if you're an individual, you could probably eat twice and have some left over. Maybe even 3 times. They got $5 footlongs, so you could get $5 footlongs. That'd be a pretty good deal and pay your own tax. But anyway, just something we're doing here. And reason I like to know that we have people watching. It helps encourage me. There's some of you that's been commenting almost every video. I've been trying to put a video up every day. And those who comment, well, I certainly appreciate it. I want to do a shout out this week. That's something I'm going to do on Thursday morning porch time. Is give a shout out every week to another channel. And this week's channel goes to Arms Family Homestead. They're located here in Oklahoma, one of our fellow Oklahoma homesteaders, and I like his videos that he's putting out. He has a high tunnel, and I really like that, and I would like to have one. He just did a live stream where he went to the guy who builds those here in Oklahoma and down in southern Oklahoma, and it was a very interesting video. He has a little boy named Houston who does videos with him, and Houston really knows his vegetables and stuff. Cute little fella, and I really enjoy that him having an owner. I think if you have children, you can sell your channel pretty good, and I love to see kids, and I love to see young people getting excited about homesteading and garden vegetables. So Arms Family, they don't even know me. I subscribe over to his channel. He's never met me. I don't know that he's ever even watched one of my videos. I'm not sure about that. He could be a private subscriber. Don't make no difference. I've been enjoying him, so I'm picking him out this week. Arms Family Homestead. If you go over and look him up, and you might even make a note that you heard about me or heard about him over on my channel at Cedar Creek Homestead, and just let him know. And if he ain't a subscriber, maybe he'd come over and join us. I'm here in Oklahoma too, and kind of got similar pathways. So hey, there's other Oklahoma folks, but I tell you, we listen to everybody. We listen to some over in Ireland and all over the world, and I enjoy it very much. So I'm enjoying this. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. I've enjoyed my time with you today, but I've got to go. Got a lot of stuff to try to get done. And I hope you're having a good week, and may God richly bless you. And we'll see you next week. Also, one more thing that I'm about to forget about, something very important, dear to my heart. We're starting on Sunday mornings. I'm going to be uploading. I am an ordained minister. I don't want to make my whole channel just ministry and just push it down people's throats. But most people in YouTube seem to be faith-based people that serve the Lord. And there's different varieties and flavors of that, and I'm not concerned about that. But I have we'll be talking about it later each week, but I have a video I'll be putting up on Sunday mornings. Probably be aired probably around 8 o'clock Central Time on Sunday mornings. It's called Sunday Morning Coffee Time with Howie Ferguson. If you don't like coffee, still join. If you go to church somewhere, then you can watch it later. We may eventually even start doing a live video. We go to church on Sunday morning, so I'd have to have it up and done before we went to church. But anyway, maybe you would want to join in and watch us. And if you would, we'd love to have you join that. We're not trying to cram any certain religion down. I'll tell you, well, religion, I'm going to say flavor of Christianity. I am evangelical. I believe in Jesus Christ, and I believe He died for my sins, and I believe the only way to get to heaven is you have to be born again and have to accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior. I'll just put that in a nutshell so you kind of understand where I'm coming from. If you're another religious background like Muslim or something like that, you're not going to like what I have to say. So, but if you're of the Christian faith, you'll enjoy it. If you're atheist, you're not going to like what I have to say. I have some people that watch me on YouTube that have even subscribed, watched my gospel channel and have put stuff on my old Facebook page. They have watched it and even subscribed over to my religious channel, but don't believe in God. So that's kind of strange, but they like to watch anyway. So if it may help them, and that's great. But if you want to be a part, come over and listen to us and comment, fellowship with us. We probably it'll be a devotional. I've been putting up one every week called Coffee Time with Howie Ferguson. People seem to be enjoying that. It'll probably be sort of the same thing, just maybe tweaked a little bit, changed up, whatever. But it's geared to homesteaders and country folks. And so if you an old time religion. So if you like to listen to stuff like that, come and listen to me. And then we'll probably have a little gospel songs after some of the videos and different things that we'll put on. Me and my wife, we sing gospel songs, and like I say, we're nothing great, and you might like us and you might hate us. But one thing neat about YouTube is if you don't like something someone's saying, you can always just turn them off. And if you go to church somewhere and you hear a boring sermon, it's kind of hard to turn it off, and I'm too nice to get up and leave one. But if you don't like what I have to say, you can always turn off. So if you'd like to tune in on Thursday mornings for our Thursday morning coffee time, porch time, just kind of an update of what's going on here and news about to come and join us. And if you'd like to tune in on Sunday mornings for our religious program that we'll be putting out, well, we'd love to have you on Sunday mornings as well. And like I say, if you go to church somewhere and you can't join us, or you're out doing the chores in the morning, can't join us, you can always watch anytime later on. So we'd love to have you. May God richly bless you and keep you this week, and we'll see you next time.